Atonement for Me, Episode 8, Being Evicted During a Pandemic.
Hey Magical Misfits, it's Kaidain Ivy and welcome to Atonement for Me. So this year has been quite a bit on everybody, myself included. I can barely remember the beginning of the year as being the beginning of the year. I know technically it's the start of a decade, but it feels like it has been a decade since the beginning of the year. So we've had isolation and quarantine and COVID. I lost my best friend. I was out of work. And then suddenly I get a wonderful email from my landlord Reno-victing me from my home because everything else is not stressful enough, and the housing crisis in Halifax and 1% vacancy rate isn't stressful enough that I get kindly removed from my location. So, hello, I hope all is well. We've been going over our codes and criteria for the Agricola Bloomfield building, and your unit will be requiring major renovations from electrical, heating, insulation to structural. Currently, the unit is not up to code, and for safety and insurance reasons, also, this must be resolved soon. We will require the building to be completely empty for these restorations/renovations to take place, of course, which will require about 3 to 4 months of vacancy. We will give you plenty of time until January 2021 to make arrangements for moving your possessions out. Once the restorations/renovations are complete, you will have priority to move back into your unit. There, however, will be rental adjustments corresponding to the work that needs to be done to the home. We understand that this can be an inconvenience. However, it is something that must be done on our part. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to get back to me. Kind regards. I really hate reading any email that says, sorry for the inconvenience. It's never an inconvenience when you're stating sorry for the inconvenience. It is a polite way of saying, fuck you. Because we're not allowed to evict people and charge ridiculous amounts of rent during COVID, but we can force renovations. This unit, this house that I've lived in, I've been here for years, and all of my adult life I've been bouncing around from home to home. I was couch surfing, I was staying on the subway, riding back and forth on lines to keep warm. I've slept on the floor of another friend's living room for a month. I've been all over the map. And then finding somewhere you feel safe and secure, and then having to find another place because that place that is your safety and security is not safe and secure. I've known this house needed a lot of work since I moved here. I'm very aware of the faulty wiring, the structural damage, seeing as the basement shifts every time there's a storm. I've mentioned these things for the past 4 years to both of the owners, people who owned this unit before it was sold to a corporation. And any time that I mention that something needs to be done to the house, it's either ignored or a Band-Aid is put over it, forcing it to become quote unquote unlivable. So they would have to renovate. And because they renovated, you can charge triple the price. I've seen what they've done to the other units in this building. I hung on here because it's very difficult to find affordable living in Halifax as a single person, period. But then you add a big black dog into that, and it's almost impossible. A lot of places that do allow pets only allow cats or small dogs up to 10 to 20 pounds, which is the size of Vader's head. And I don't really understand that because Vader he doesn't really damage a unit. He's not really loud. The bigger they are, they usually sleep the most. It's the little dogs that are going to be tearing up the floors. But not everybody can afford to live in a nice renovated location. Some people are working 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet for the shitty little place that they call home. It might not be something that everybody likes. It might be something that other people look down on, but it's their pride and it's their home. And with affordable living spaces being rarer and rarer because the cost of rent is going up and up and up, but jobs are scarce, salaries stay the same, minimum wage stays the same here. And yet, since I've been here, rent has almost tripled. So I'm going to have to be out of my house even more to be able to afford it. As if there's not enough going on in my life as it is. Where do I even begin? All for money, just so someone can charge a little bit more, pad their wallets a little bit more. Might be just an inconvenience to them that they have to send me this letter. But sorry for the inconvenience when you're taking away somebody's home? Really? Did you have to? You don't have to be nice about it. Just tell me that you're renovating this shithole so you can charge more rent. Don't pretend you're sorry. And that's just the tea. Also, if you have any questions for me or any topics that you wish for me to discuss on Atonement for Me, please let me know. And we'll see you next time.